What's going on, Jerome's? Practice number 11 for the Minnesota Vikings training camp 2024 is in the books. And, of course, the main talking point is the competition between Slinging Sam Darnold, the pride of USC, and J.J. McCarthy, the future franchise of the Vikings. But it was a big day. It was a big-time day for Slinging Sam Darnold, and I'm super hyped up for the pride of USC. The last 4 practices have been nails, and I'm glad that he rebounded from being ass, thank you, at the beginning of training camp, or maybe not ass, but rather just uneven. And J.J. McCarthy, he looked like a rookie today. Not ready to say it's as bad as Friday. Obviously had some high highs, but there were some low lows in there as well. But overall, like, if Sam Darnold plays the way that he did today and over the last 4 practices, I think the Vikings will be a dark horse playoff contender. I think we're looking at double-digit wins. And the glorious connection that we saw between Justin freaking Jefferson and Sam Darnold, baby, let's feed families. Hey, you know all those wagers for jelly beans that have like Jefferson as plus 350 to lead the league in receiving yards? Think about it. JJ2K, it's still in the cards, man. They've proven that JJ is quarterback agnostic, as well as Slinging Sam Darnold. Could he win comeback player of the year? Potentially. We'll see. But practice-wise, offensive coordinator Wes Phillips here with not a thermos. J.J. McCarthy hanging out with the fans beforehand. Also, I would love if one of these kids turns out to be president someday, or the next Tom Brady, or finds a cure for all the diseases. Someone famous, es muy famoso. But there's so much going on in this photo. Number 1, McCarthy's broccoli hair. Number 2, the photographer behind McCarthy is wearing a Andrew DiPaolo bagel store shirt. And also a PA on the mic looking dapper as always. Love him, PA. 9 to noon. And also Bryant McKinney sitting on the pads wearing the Miami shirt. That's just the U being the U. Again, there's so much going on here. Love it, man. It's fantastic. Also fantastic is they ran a lot of cornerback versus wide receiver one-on-ones today. And there were some great reps out there. Well, obviously, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison dominated, but also A.J. Green III, the other one, had himself a fantastic rep. Will Raggett, Sports Illustrated. A.J. Green III just jammed Tristan Jackson at the line and then made a one-handed pick deep downfield. Insane rep. Whole DB room went nuts celebrating. Also, they were going nuts when they got the jam at the line of scrimmage. I mean, Tristan Jackson just got his lunch handed to him by A.J. Green, respect. And also, it's weird because A.J. Green is number 28 and Tristan Jackson took number 8. Formerly, he was number 9. Then J.J. McCarthy came in. So it's weird seeing Adrian Peterson get a good jam at the line of scrimmage against Kirk Cousins. It's funny, man. Yeah, but big-time play by A.J. Green. I'm not saying that he is going to potentially make a push for a 53 spot, but he's definitely turned a couple of heads, even though he's primarily been working with the threes. But we'll see what happens. But also, I just love seeing hype on the sidelines. Like I said, like the DBs were just like getting after it. It's fantastic, man. But Slinging Sam Darnold, I mean, he's strung together 4 great practices. I think this one was elite because he really found a groove with Justin Jefferson, and also he was generally going up against the ones, and the Vikings first-team offense had themselves a day. Now, I know that the negative people will say is like, oh, what's wrong with the defense? Nah, I mean, the defense has been playing really damn good. Just Darnold and Jefferson cracked the code. Oh, Darnold's just like, oh, how am I going to succeed here? Oh, just F it, 18 is down there somewhere? Yeah. Yeah, so, something like that. Now, McCarthy certainly wasn't without his merits. Also, I think Thayer Thomas must have heard that we were talking ish. We listed him on the stock down video where I got some high hopes for the pride of NC State, except it just seemed like he was kind of inert. It kind of seemed like he was getting lapped by Deshaun Jones, Tristan Jackson and company, but then he responded with a couple of 7-on-7 red zone touchdowns. So it's good for 89. And McCarthy was able to operate a little bit, but also threw a pick to Bobby McCain, had a couple of passes broken up, and just like, yeah, you're going to have days like this. All right? And McCarthy, my feelings haven't changed. Obviously, he's the future of the franchise. You're not going to change your opinion on one freaking practice. Talk about practice, man. But, especially the way that Darnold looked. I mean, come on. Also, veterans, I like the way that Kevin O'Connell is cycling through rest days for the veterans. Aaron Jones was getting rest today. Ty Chandler getting a look with the ones. Ty Chandler is going to be good, man. And we keep harping that Bengals game last year, a $132 on the ground, 5.7 yards per carry, and a rushing touchdown, something Alexander Madison didn't do. Free Ty Chandler, and also all the other soft skills that it takes to be an NFL running back, the pass protection. I'm sure he's worked on it this offseason. Aaron Jones is a great asset as well, just making him a true blue 3-down back. I think that Ty Chandler is going to be something, man, even with Aaron Jones doing some really good damn work as well. Odds and ends. So like we said, plenty of wide receiver, cornerback work. I think that they do that for the fans because it is really exciting just seeing him go at it in full pads, full press, and just after things, man. Darnold and Jefferson shredded the 1s and 2s, like we said. Like, honestly, Darnold looked probably as good as he's ever looked. Right. And yes, it is practice, and who knows about the game situation. But I actually do think that, I mean, there's a reason why he was a number 3 overall pick in 2018, the pride of USC. And honestly, if he plays the way that he did today in the last 4 days in the regular season, Vikings will be looking at double-digit wins, potentially playoffs. Let's push this thing, man. McCarthy uneven, like we said, but not as bad as Friday. Certainly still had some high highs as well. Showed off a little bit of the wheels and mobility. Booth and Scene were with the third-team defense. Now, there's a couple ways to look at this. Number one, I'm glad that the Vikings are basing things on merit, especially on defense. I mean, Flores don't broke no BS. He doesn't care where he got drafted. He doesn't care where he got paid. The best players are going to play, which is great. And I understand the fan frustration. Like, they always throw Scene and Booth in Kwesi's face. Like, oh, remember the Vikings can win the Super Bowl, and Vikings fans will still be like, oh, what about Lewis Scene? We're going to call Hamilton. I understand the frustration, but what do you want the team to do? If you want Booth and Scene to continue to get first-team reps just because they're high draft picks, just say that. But that's not the way that you run a team or an organization. Merit. Best player is going to play, and I love what Flores is doing. So they deserve to be on the third team. And you could say, well, that's embarrassing for Kwesi. Well, what do you want them to do? Keep throwing good money after bad, metaphorically, or admit they made a mistake, cut ties, and just move on with life? Or basically the question is, do you want the team to keep a Dwight McLaughlin or Andrew Booth Jr.? Or do you want the team to keep a Theo Jackson or carry on my Jayward son or Lewis Scene? That's what it comes down to. Speaking of Theo Jackson, he and Metellus had interceptions in 11 on 11s. McCain had that interception off of JJ in 7 on 7s. And overall, I feel like I need to whisper this. Come here. The offensive line looked pretty good today. First team offensive line looked pretty good. Now, Flores, especially since it's first ones versus ones today, quite a bit. Flores is throwing the kitchen sink at that O-line. Lots of feints, lots of stunts, lots of games, lots of trickery, and the offensive line looked pretty damn good. I mean, there's a reason why, Darnold was dealing back there. It's because beyond the whole, well, that would have been a sack if it was in a real game. No, he was kept clean for the most part throughout the day, and you could see, like, the confidence is racking up because the whole cliche is like, well, we're just trying to stack up good days. Sam Darnold's doing that, man. And again, like we said this earlier before we sort of got on the JJ train. The best case scenario for the Vikings, Sam Darnold plays well, JJ gets a redshirt season, and the Vikings are able to tag. They have the cap space. Besides, you can tag and trade, and it doesn't impact your cap necessarily. They can tag and trade Darnold for, 2 and a 3. Come on. It's a very quarterback-needy league, and the quarterback class next year is ass. Thank you. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So the latest chapter in Sam Darnold versus J.J. McCarthy, advantage Darnold today. Certainly got after things and kind of like the way that things are going. Sam Darnold seems like I was going to say he seems like a dog guy, but maybe he has a cat. He's got a ginger calico cat. It just fits, man. Just fits. But that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings practice number 11 in the books. Let us know your thoughts. Blah, blah, blah. You guys know what to do. Skull, production value.